Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Thiesel, and I'm your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You may also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, Abundant Television Syndicated, and that's on Abundant Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And also, we have a new podcast address, and which is going to be even better than what we had before. thenewscasters.com. So we appreciate you watching and listening to us every day, Monday through Friday, from 1 to 3 p.m. Central. And we definitely appreciate that. You can also find us on all the social media sites. If you want to take another look at AP Steadham, say, and you listen to him this week and you want to go back in and dig some more information about what he said, you can find him on all the social media sites as well. AP, talk show host, sports talk show host, and also host of your own show. And that's As We See It with AP and Kelly. AP and Kelly As We See It, however you want to say it.
Hey, Donna, how are you?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Oh, good, Donna. Yeah, it's fall has arrived. I feel it in the air.
Yeah, it is. I like the hot, sweaty summer months. I know I'm weird, but I really do like it
Me
hot.
too. Me too.
And
I'm like you. Yeah.
Well, Phil is celebrating, though. Phil loves this.
Likes the cooler weather. Yeah. Some people do. Yeah. They like that cool air. And it definitely arrived on Saturday evening. I felt it.
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to tell you, it feels more like football weather.
It sure was. Yeah, it's here. And we have some good ball games this weekend. And we'll start off, I guess, with Alabama traveling to College Station. Texas A&M was a hot team, playing well defensively and offensively. They had been scoring 30 points a game, even in their loss to Miami, who, oh, by the way, Miami was upset this week by Georgia Tech. I think they were a 19.5-point favorite, so that was a bad loss for the Hurricanes. But anyway, Alabama prevailed 26-20. Last year it was 24-20, I believe. So they came away with the victory. Jalen Milroe had an outstanding game, 300-plus yards throwing the football, 3 touchdowns. Alabama was not able to run the ball effectively, just, I think, 23 total yards on the ground, but that includes the sacks. Alabama continues to have trouble, Donna, protecting the quarterback. 6 sacks. I think it's 20, maybe 26 sacks on the season, which I don't know what the record is at Alabama, but I have to start looking at those numbers because I just don't recall Alabama having so much trouble protecting their quarterback. And in the future games, that could play into the one-loss column for sure. You get to that quarterback and strip the ball, and that's one turnover, and that's all you need to beat Alabama. But a big victory in the SEC West against Texas A&M. So I think they're in the driver's seat at the moment.
That's good. So what's happening to Alabama? I mean, like you said, this is unusual. Is it because of the new players out there? I mean, what's the deal?
Well, they have the huge linemen, huge offensive line. They average, I think, maybe 350 pounds, which is as big as any offensive line in professional football or college football. But they're not able to keep out these swift edge rushers, and they're getting to the quarterback. And let's remember, Jalen Milroe is very fast, and he's an elusive quarterback. So he probably would have been sacked more if it was somebody else. But he's progressing as a quarterback. He's able to surveil the field and finding his receivers. We know that he can throw the long ball. Can he throw the intermediate pass? And he's having more success in that range. So that bodes well for Alabama's offense. And all these other teams, they should be worried because he's coming on now. He's improving as a passer all over the field, not just a long pass. And the receivers have been catching the football with consistency. They had a drop or two here and there, but 300-yard game for the quarterback. He's bound to throw probably 1 interception a game, Donna. I think Jalen Milroe at this point. But their defense is playing so well that they can survive that 1 turnover. Hopefully it's not a pick 6. Hopefully it's just a turnover. Maybe you hold the team to 3 points or you just get them to punt the football. But Alabama, that seems to be their MO at the moment. They have a turnover game through the air. Jalen Milroe can run. He didn't have many yards on Saturday. Didn't need it, but he had 300 yards through the air and plenty of points, 26 points to win. And the defense played well, holding the other team to 20, who was scoring 30 points a game. So that's a big positive. And the kicking game has always been solid. The punter got hurt. So Will Riker, the kicker, had to come in as a punter as well. He did fine.
Now, overall, this season, and also Mark made the statement, said that he had noticed we're having less injuries this year than we have before. What's the strategy for that?
Yeah, well, I mean, the strength and conditioning coaches, they're trying to prevent any type of injury, especially the hamstring that tightens up at times. So you want to get loose before the game. You want to have the proper exercise to strengthen that part of your body. You want to have your knees strong, your hamstring, your legs, and your shoulders. You're throwing the football as a quarterback. So the strength and conditioning people, they're always studying the new techniques so that they can prevent injuries to the players, because you have to have people on the field and to be able to perform without suffering any injuries.
Mm-hmm. Tara said that she has decided to work on the sidelines in the medical field, in hopes to be able to work with a college football team. I would say there's a huge demand for that. You get to
Oh yeah,
travel.
there's the football team and all the other sports. Some
Mm.
schools have 20 plus sports. They need medical personnel at every game, and so yeah, it's a wide open field. Yeah, she
Mm-hmm.
should pursue it. Sure.
Yeah, anyone who's a massage therapist and you go to a tech school, tech schools are huge right now. So going to a tech school, learn how to be a massage therapist, I would think that would be another advantage. You get to travel with the teams.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, coaches are always looking to make sure their athletes are in superb condition, and
Mhm.
that includes something like relaxing their muscles. Sure.
Absolutely. So let's talk Auburn. So they had off weekend.
Yeah.
So what's ahead for them this coming weekend?
Yeah. Matter of fact, I will be at that game in Baton Rouge. They're traveling to LSU. We know LSU down to 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row, they scored 49 points offensively. So they're going to be difficult to stop, and that's not Auburn's forte, scoring a lot of points. So they're going to have to corral or try to minimize Jaden Daniels, the quarterback of LSU. He's throwing for 300 yards a game, and he can run for 100 yards as well. So that's a tough task. And down in Baton Rouge, as Auburn travels down there to Louisiana to face an SEC Western opponent. So that would be an upset if they won that ball game. But it's possible. You just have to play, tough defense early. Keep yourself in the game so the crowd is minimized as well. The crowd noise, that it's going to be loud. Be a Saturday night game, 6 o'clock start Central Time.
That's going to be good. And the one thing we know about football, college football, you can't predict it. There is no way.
No, it's amazing. Yeah, so Auburn, he'll have a good game plan. The coach, Hugh Freeze, he'll try to condense the game because he knows that the other team scores so many points. So you have to keep them on the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
Get a short passing game going, try to run the football, because LSU's defense, Donna, 2 weeks in a row now, they gave up 55 points to Ole Miss and then 39 on the road to Missouri. So we know that you can attack that LSU defense and move the football, consequently giving your team the best chance to win by having LSU's offense on the sideline.
Mm-hmm. Stacy says War Eagle, by the way, and she also wants to know, if you were the coach of Auburn, if you were Hugh Freeze, what would you be strategizing this coming weekend?
Right. We want to, if you're Auburn, you want to keep that LSU offense on the sideline. So how do you do that? You start the game off by getting your quarterback in a rhythm with the short passes, and he's gaining confidence. And then you spring it on him. You pass the ball down the field, down the seam, or a long pass down the sideline. And then you want to try to run the ball. You want to try to get to the edges like they did against Georgia. It was very successful. And then they ran up the middle as well. So you want to mix the run game outside, inside, and you want to have that short passing game in rhythm for your quarterback. And then that's how you're going to have a chance to keep LSU's high-powered offense on the sideline. And then Auburn has been playing good defense, but if they're on the field too much, like any defense, they get tired and worn out. So I'm sure that's a part of their strategy, to condense the game.
Mm-hmm. Then there's Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia played tremendous. They flexed their muscles against this Kentucky team that was undefeated. Kentucky was running the ball very effectively in their prior games. They shut them down. Ray Davis had about 50 or 60 yards, the running back who transferred from Temple to Vanderbilt to Kentucky. So, and they missed some early throws. They had a chance to be in the game early. Georgia just dominated 51-13. Carson Beck continues to impress. He's an excellent passer from the pocket. He has Bowers, the fabulous tight end, the best in America, and the other receivers. And Georgia looked like a number one team at home, 51 points. That's a 38. I mean, it's very disappointing for Kentucky the way they played in that ball game. Because they could have been closer.
Kentucky. What did that do to Kentucky in the rankings?
Yeah, I'm not sure that, because they were in the bottom between 20 and 25 in some of the rankings, so they might have dropped out, Ron, down at this point, because that's a 38-point loss. It wasn't close, wasn't competitive at all. So that might have knocked them out, because there's some teams that jump in there in the rankings. So, but Kentucky, a lot of football to be played. They have to play Tennessee, and they have to play Alabama. They have to host Alabama in Lexington in November. So there's a lot of big ball games for them still on the schedule.
A lot of great things could still happen. You just never know.
Yeah, and they have to play their rival Louisville. Donna, remember this: Louisville is undefeated, and they beat Notre Dame by double digits this weekend in Louisville, 33-20. So you have Tennessee, Alabama, Louisville. Those are all ranked teams left on your schedule. So you better get prepared.
Yeah, but you know something? It's just like Alabama and Auburn. Auburn can be losing every single game of the season, but then when they play Alabama, it's like they emerge.
Right. And that game, let me just say, that game, Donna, that Kentucky game is in Louisville, so that's pretty tough. That's going to be a pretty tough game at the end of the year.
Before we go into break, let's talk a little bit about Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee, Donna. They had the bye, so this week, Tennessee. They're getting ready to host a Texas A&M team that has to be down because they thought they had a chance to beat Alabama. They have to travel to Knoxville to play the Volunteers. So I would say that A&M, one or two things can happen, Don. They're going to get really mad and say, we got to play better, or they're going to be down and Tennessee can put a licking on them.
Yeah, just never know. It depends on the attitude when they come in.
Yeah, the attitude, right.
Let's go into a commercial break. We'll be right back in just a minute. Everybody hang. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community. Whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need, toys at Christmas, or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. Jeff McCurdy of the McCurdy Law Firm has been a public service of this area for over 10 years. McCurdy, a member of the Henniger City Council, serves as prosecutor for the town of Sylvania and was named public defender for the city of Rainsville. The McCurdy Law Firm is located at 17326 Alabama Highway 75 in Henniger to better represent his Jackson and DeKalb County clients. If you need to be represented by a true public servant, with proven success. Call Jeff at 256-996-8701 or send a private email to mccurdy.lawfirm@gmail.com. No representation is made that the legal services performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers.
Wow, it's so soft and smooth.
It's cool to the touch. How did you do that?
Well, we took MyPillow's patented fill and combined it with this new technology that we didn't have back then when I invented MyPillow to bring you the best pillow in history, MyPillow 2.0. Because of all of you, MyPillow 2.0 has been a huge success, and now we're bringing you our best-selling Go Anywhere MyPillows with the same temperature-regulating technology. Made with my patented adjustable fill and brand new cooling fabric, they're truly the next generation of MyPillow. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save over 60% on our MyPillow 2.0 4-pack special. You'll get 2 MyPillows and 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows. Regular $259.92, now only $99.98. King size just $10 more. This is a limited time offer, so please order now.
The Hatter Cafe and Country Inn is nestled in the northeast corner of Alabama the Beautiful in the delightful town of Mentone. We're located on top of scenic Lookout Mountain near Little River and DeSoto State Park and located only 5 minutes from shopping and restaurants. There is also a nearby community walking path and golf course. We welcome everyone through the doors and we are committed to outstanding service for all guests. At the Hatter Cafe and Country Inn, we invite people from all walks of life to come and get away from it all, enjoy the open spaces, treetop views, fresh, clean air, and experience Southern hospitality at its finest. We look forward to hosting you. To reserve a special event, or if you would love a special getaway at the Country Inn, you can call us at 256-634-2018. Good afternoon. We are back. My name is Donna, and I am your host of Donna's Edge. You can find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications. You can also find us on worldwide syndicated television, Abundant TV, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And the podcast is all fired up. It's a new website. Let me look at it, okay? You know, we had a really difficult one, and I'm glad we changed that out. But I finally got it. Now I got a new one I've got to memorize. TheNewscasters.com. TheNewscasters.com. It's all about truth. So we appreciate you listening. All social media sites as well. Okay, AP, let's talk about what's happening with AP and Kelly as we see it.
Yeah, Donna, we have the show. It's on every Friday on IC Radio, 4 p.m. Central Time. AP and Kelly, as we see it, we discuss the Southeastern Conference. And then last week we had to discuss the Oklahoma-Texas game because those are the two teams that will be coming to the Southeastern Conference next year. And they're in the national rankings. They're in the top 10, both teams. And Oklahoma upset Texas this weekend. And really a real excellent ball game. But yeah, we have a guest every week. And so I'm not sure we're going to have this week. But we talk about every team in the conference. Even when there's a bye, we'll mention something about the team, the trend, what's trending with the team. So we have a lot of fun discussing those matchups. And we all know that we're not sure what's going to happen on Saturday with some of these teams. For instance, that Missouri LSU game, I thought Missouri was going to have a chance, and I thought A&M would have a good chance against Alabama. Both games were competitive, so it was a lot of fun to watch them.
There you go. So what are the rankings for the Southeastern Conference this week?
Yeah, Georgia's number one. And then Alabama, since they beat Texas A&M, they're teetering on that 10 and 11 spot. And LSU still in the rankings. Tennessee, Kentucky, I think, dropped out. I'm not sure. So they still have a handful of teams contending in the top 25 for the SEC. But there's so much football to be played down. So, Ole Miss is in there. Of course, they won. They beat Arkansas. So they're still in the top 25 as well. So you have Georgia in the East, in the West, Alabama, Ole Miss, LSU, and Tennessee also in the East as well. So that's what 5 teams I just mentioned. in the top 25. Yeah, but the other teams, they can get back into the top 25, Donna, because there's these big ball games against some of those teams in the top 25 from the SEC. So it's still possible for them.
Nick says hello from North Carolina. And so he wants to know your take on Clemson. What do they need to do to redeem themselves?
Yeah, Clemson, that conference is becoming there's some competitive teams, Florida State, and of course Clemson has played Florida State, North Carolina, Duke, even Miami, that they were upset by Georgia Tech. We know that they put 48 points on Texas A&M. So Clemson, you have to have good quarterback play, Nick. Your quarterback can't turn the ball over, be efficient on the third downs, and defensively just keep playing hard as they always do at Clemson. Usually have good defense. So, and then you have to have the support for the quarterback, the receivers, catch that football for your quarterback, and they have a good running back as well. So just try to play air free, low on the penalties, and like I said, your quarterback, protect him, give him a chance to make the throws, especially on the third down. And solid kicking game. If we always forgot to mention that, solid kicking game. Yeah.
Absolutely. Now he had a part B on here too. So this is, what do you see in the future for the coach?
Dabo, Dabo is established at Clemson. I mean, when you in that multiple national championships, I wouldn't think they're too interested in you leaving because not many people can make the claim we won multiple national championships with the same coach. So he's fine. He just got to make the adjustments in college football. When something happens, how do you manage that change? I mean, that's always the question. Do you adapt, or you let that change affect your program?
Let's get out on the national scene.
Yeah. Looking at the national scene down in Michigan, I think Michigan's a very good team. I haven't had a chance to watch them up close, but I just get the feeling that they're solid defensively, as always, and offensively, they're getting much better under Jim Harbaugh through the years. I did watch one game, a little bit of the game. USC pulled out an overtime victory over Arizona. They were losing down at home in the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, 17-0, 17-0, and they came all the way back. Had to go into overtime, 43-41. They have trouble defensively. They're very similar to LSU. They can score a lot of points, 40 points, no problem. Defense gives up 40 points. So that's an issue for them. But Oklahoma on the scene now. They defeated Texas, who was number 3 at the time. Oklahoma rose up 6, 7, 8 spots, whatever, in the polls. So they're a team to watch. But if they keep winning, maybe Texas keeps winning in that conference and they end up playing each other in the Big 12 championship. So keep an eye on that. Both of those teams could be in the playoffs on if Oklahoma remains undefeated and probably has a close loss in the championship against Texas. So that's a conference to watch because of those two teams that have the potential to have a chance to be in the college football playoffs if they run the table and then Texas returns the favor and just beats Oklahoma by a close score.
Paul is in Atlanta, and he wants to know who your idea of the Cinderella team is this week.
This week, yeah, I wouldn't know potentially this week. I don't have all the teams in my mind. I haven't looked over the entire schedule, but I would say, I think I mentioned this last week, I'm looking at Penn State to see if they can beat Ohio State in a couple weeks in Columbus, and if they can beat Ohio State, and I'm not sure where they play Michigan, but that's been the two stumbling blocks for them. If they ever beat those two teams, of course, they can win the Big Ten. But I'm thinking Penn State is a team keep your eye on, and one of those teams in the ACC, North Carolina, Florida State, if they can continue to win, keep an eye on them as well. And then out west, Donna, just one other thing, out west. We haven't even spoken to them. Washington and Oregon play this week, I believe. So those are two undefeated teams. Bo Nix at Oregon, Michael Penix, the transfer from Indiana, at Washington, prolific passers. So I'm interested in that game. I think that's in Seattle. I think that's up in Washington. And of course, USC is in contention as well. So that's going to play itself out when all those teams have to compete against each other. But that'll be interesting. So there's some nice conference battles, Donna, is what I'm saying. Big 12, Pac-12, Big 10. SEC, ACC. It's nice to have all the conferences be competitive amongst each other. There's no domination. I mean, of course, Georgia's still winning. They're the team to beat in the SEC and across the country as well. Yeah.
Lucy plays in the band with Jack State, and she wants to know who your number one band team is across the nation.
Well, of course, it's Jack State, right? That's my number one band.
She wants you to choose someone else.
Okay. Yeah, no, there's so many good bands. I hear them every week.
They're all good.
Different games. They're very good. They practice just as hard as a football team. They practice every day and then some. And they're practicing before the game. I mean, they're practicing hours before the game. The day of the game, they're practicing. I've been at places and I'm thinking, my gosh, it's early in the morning. The band has to practice again. They practiced all week.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And it's all about unity too, because without, a good band helps make the team.
Oh yeah, the coaches love it. The smart coach speaks to the band before the season, and motivates them, and the band loves it. I mean, every coach should. They're supportive of the team. It's smart. So I think every coach usually speaks to the band and the band director.
I think it's awesome. It's like going to church. I mean, the choir really brings out the whole thing.
Yeah, it helps inspire the crowd level, the noise, and part of the pageantry of college football, the band. Yeah. Oh, my goodness, yes.
Like good noise there. Okay, so let's end this. We have a little bit over 2 minutes left in the segment. So let's end it on who your coach of the week and who your player of the week is. This past week.
Coach of the week. This past week. Let me just think for a moment here. I think what Georgia did, because, the prior week down, they had given up 200 plus yards to Auburn on the ground. And you're having a Kentucky team who the running back had 280 yards, I think, against Florida the prior week or so. And then you hold them down and put 51 points on the board. And Kentucky usually has a good defense. I'm thinking I'm going with Kirby Smart. And I would say I'm going to go with two. I'm going to go with Carson Beck. And really, you can go with three quarterbacks if you wanted to, especially in the SEC. Carson Beck of Georgia, Jalen Milroe of Alabama, and then Jaden Daniels helped his team score 49 points on the road against Missouri. So those are three quarterbacks that had exceptional days.
Mm-hmm. And then let's talk about kicker. I think we have time to talk about that. You and I have talked about this several times. Sometimes the kicker makes the game.
Yeah, Will Reichert, he's been tremendous this season, Don. He hasn't missed a kick yet for Alabama. He done that in 2020. I think he was the same thing. He made every kick, made every extra point. That's highly unusual. Mm-hmm. To have that type of kicking record. And, we already played, 5-6 games, so halfway through the season. So I'm looking at Will Reichert. He's up for the Lou Groza Award. I'm sure that's for the kickers. So if he continues, I don't say that I can't give him the award.
Mm-hmm. I say so too. AP, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Hey,
AP
thank you,
and Kelly, as we see it, we're hardly waiting to see you this coming Friday at 4:00. And you can also find
Don, thank you so much.
other ways folks can find you guys as well. Do you have a website? You have a Facebook page, I know.
The Facebook page, we have all the archive episodes there, and I put up the schedule every week where it's played on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday as well, as far as the archive on our website. About Thursday, about 1:00, it should be up there. Yeah.
Okay. AP, thank you so much for being on the show today. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you, Donna.
And thank you for watching Donna's Edge. You can find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, and Abundance Television found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Don't forget the podcast there as well. But thank you all so much for watching, and thanks to our sponsors as well.